This is the Windsor Bridge. This was taken a few hours ago. Now, 24 hours ago, the river level was normal, which is about 6 metres down below those traffic lights on top of the bridge. So it's already gone across the lowlands. It's already broken the flood level of 3 months ago. It's already beaten that already within 12-hour period and is yet to rise another 2 metres, which means there on the top right hand corner of the screen, the top of that handrail there is going to be underwater. Now, if you can get your brain to work it out, right across those sheds, everything right over there in the far distance, as far as 3 miles away, is going to be underwater. So God help the poor animals. The people were told it was a big flood was coming, and people have already been caught out with their horses caught in the paddocks. Woman drove down there to try and save her horses. She's had 24 hours notice. She waited to the last minute, and then a car got stuck in the floodwaters. So she had to get rescued, and her animals were still stuck in a paddock down by South Creek. Yeah, and when they went down there, South Creek now was about a mile wide. So, yes, a mile wide, and South Creek's usually about 10 metres wide. So we can safely say the horses have drowned. But she had 24 hours notice to go and get the horses out, and now she's all upset. So this flood is going to be a doozy. This flood is going to be the biggest flood on record since about 1961. In 1961, the flood water there was higher than the top of those streetlights in the picture that you're now looking at. Far higher. And that was before the Warragamba Dam was opened or built. Because I remember being a kid that the floodwaters are higher than that. My mother had me in her arms and she took a photo of the building behind where this picture here has been taken. People of today don't realise how deep that Hawkesbury River there can get. They think these are big floods. 1961 flood was one of the massive big floods that ever happened. As actual fact, it was that deep. The flood water actually went up the main street of Windsor, up there where the Commonwealth Bank is, and was sitting outside the door of the Commonwealth Bank. Well, the Commonwealth Bank is still 15 metres higher, 15 metres, 15 yards higher than what it is there in this picture. People of today have no idea how deep that flood water can get. So we got 14,000 square kilometres of catchment of floodwater coming down from above Wollongong all the way right down as far as Canberra, Goulburn, Yass, and then right out as far west as Bathurst, Lithgow, and also coming all the way down the Grose River between the Great Western Highway and the Bells Liner Road, up there down through the Grose, which is in between the Bells Liner Road and the Great Western Highway, far up as Bell and Mount Victoria. And then you've got the floodwater coming down on the north side of the Bells Liner Road, which is from the Colo River, which goes right up there to Mudgee. Now, all this heavy rainfall is flooding in from Mudgee, Bathurst, which is approximately 150 kilometres away, and all that is either going to go right through underneath that bridge there, yes, right through underneath that bridge there, or it's going to come down the Colo down further downstream, which means this water here then is going to backlog, and that also makes it fill up. It doesn't actually have to come down there through this bridge, because it's going to come in another river on a Y fork, and that will then block this water and make this water here rise up because it's coming in there from another angle. So you can imagine how deep Windsor's going to be. I think Windsor myself is possibly going to go right underwater. I think personally it's going to go within about 3 metres from the height of the highest point of Windsor in the main street, which if you get on Google Earth is on the corner of George Street and Old Windsor Road, which is up there at the top of the roundabout above the bridge. I reckon it's going to be that high. It's going to come right up there. I reckon all the houses down along the riverfront are actually going to go underwater along Terrace Road. This is going to be one whopping great big flood. It's going to be massive. So I'm just glad my two houses are far, far away and high up in the air. So anyway, for me, Mr. Hominoid, so if you're interested in watching Australian news, we're about to have the biggest flood ever in Sydney. Now, we've got a ship that's lost its power out to sea at the moment on Port Botany, and they're out there trying to save that in raging storms. And also, get this one, suburbs within the city of Sydney are flooded. houses in the city of Sydney, within the city area, within a couple of kilometres of Sydney, Centre Point Tower, are being flooded, and also Landilo is flooded, which is quite normal, which is where the lady with the horses are. Over there at Liverpool, which normally goes under, which is those, if you watch the news, you'll see the big brick pylons sticking up out of the river. Well, that's at Liverpool, at Moorebank. That always goes underwater. But now there's houses even further up going underwater, which did not go underwater 3 months ago. They're now evacuating, which they never have had to evacuate. That's what I'm trying to say. This is going to be one massive, great big flood. So if you're somewhere else around the world and you're in a drought, you want some water, come over here with a bucket and help yourself. Anyway, me, Mr. Ominoy down here in Australia, I've never seen anything like this for the last 45 years. And I'm 61 years old. This is how bad it's got. I've never seen it this bad in 45 years. See you later.